This slide illustrates a simple workflow from capturing an image through to its display. I'll say a few words about each of the 5 steps, but it's important to notice that post-processing doesn't exist in a vacuum. This step is more important than the other 4 put together. You've got to make it as perfect as possible in the camera. Get it wrong and no amount of post-processing is going to help. Shooting in RAW is essential, as it allows you to correct for minor problems, especially in white balance and exposure. Next, use the lowest ISO possible, as the noise caused by using higher ISOs can only be removed in special programs. RAW does nothing for you here. And lastly, but this is really first, use a tripod, because blurred and out of focus images due to camera shake cannot, I repeat, not be fixed anywhere. And the tripod will allow you to nail your composition. You've captured your images, and now it's time to download them from your camera to your computer. Image organization is important, and there are a lot of programs out there that will help you with this. But nothing will help if you toss all of your image files into a single folder like tax receipts in a shoebox. I have well over 200,000 image files and can find almost any of them in a minute or less. You should have a similar goal. Find a good program and use it. Now that your image files are on your computer, it's time to select those that you wish to post-process. I begin by going through the downloaded images and bookmarking those that are potential candidates. I follow by going through these and giving 1 star to the best of the candidates, followed by raising some of the 1 stars to 2 stars, and then a final pass 2 stars to 3, usually leaving me with about 10% of my starting images. I don't throw the other 90% away. Post-processing is the topic of this workshop, and we'll spend several hours on it following this overview. All that I'll say at this point is that some post-processing depends on how the image is to be displayed, and we typically hold off on these adjustments, such as sharpening and cropping, until the final display decision has been made. The same image is typically displayed several times and in several different forms. Sharpening requirements differ between screen and print displays. Further, print sharpening varies depending on the print size, the viewing distance, the paper, and other factors. And last, different print aspect ratios require different croppings. There are a few guidelines related to post-processing. As mentioned earlier, it all starts with getting it right in the camera to begin with. Beyond that, we start with the big picture and gradually work our way down to the details. At this point, the processed image file is saved. This saved file is our starting point when we're ready to display this image. Typical RAW converters usually allow you to save your converted file in either JPEG or TIFF format. A 16-bit TIFF file will usually allow the best result. JPEGs, which are 8-bit, may cause problems with some images, usually in the form of banding. We'll go over the remaining steps in detail once this overview is complete. For now, though, note the word masking in item 2B, and pay special attention to masking when we cover it during the workshop. This is a processing technique that is essential for achieving quality post-processing results. In the simplest terms, destructive process modifies your original file in such a way that the original is gone forever. You do not, I repeat, not want to do destructive processing. Most programs support non-destructive processing. An example would be Photoshop, if you save the layers intact and save the file as a Photoshop file. A final piece of advice: the RAW file captured by your camera is equivalent to the film camera's negative. Save this in its original form and save it forever.